So the next story is called Clay, and it's about a woman named Maria who is setting up a social gathering, and she used to be in a relationship, but now maybe a marriage. But in the story, she's like a single woman, and she comes off as a kind, emphatic soul that a lot of people like and kind of rely on. She works at a laundromat, and she's also a plant mom. She was always sent for when the women quarreled over their tubs, and always succeeded in making peace. So she's like the mother. She's like the mom in the friend group, basically. The responsible one who can see things outside of, see everybody's perspective and take them into account and be like super understanding, basically. There's a guy named Joe who had disputes with his brother Alfie, but they used to get along and have good times together. And Maria took care of Joe and Alfie when they were kids and as they grew up, and Joe sees Maria as like a mother figure. Mama is mama, but Maria is my proper mother. Joe comes off as cynical. He basically counters negativity with more negativity, and he's prideful of that. Like he's prideful of like his smart-ass answers to a boss he doesn't like, for example. He told her all that went on in his office, repeating for her a smart answer which he had made to the manager. Maria did not understand why Joe laughed so much over the answer he had made, but she said that the manager must have been a very overbearing person to deal with. I think this quote shows kindness on Maria's part. Like, she doesn't understand why someone would feel good about negativity. She doesn't have that bitterness that Joe does. It's contrasting, and at the same time, she shows understanding of Joe's perspective, gathering the fact that Joe's manager must be overbearing to work with. Just the contrast between the two characters, the compassionate, understanding, kind, patient Maria, and like the cynical, easily angered Joe, let's say. There's also Maria's interactions with Mooney and Lizzie Fleming, and both are kind of urging Maria to like get married again, and Maria replies that she's not interested, and she thinks of Mooney and Lizzie Fleming as common women. She refers to Mooney as a dummy at one point. Lizzie Fleming said Maria was sure to get the ring. Maria had to laugh and say she didn't want any ring or man either. Then Ginger Mooney lifted up her mug of tea and proposed Maria's health, while all the other women clattered with their mugs on the table, and she said she was sorry she hadn't a sup of porter to drink it in. And Maria laughed again till the tip of her nose nearly met the tip of her chin, until her minute body nearly shook itself asunder, because she knew that Mooney meant well, though, of course, she had notions of a common woman. But wasn't Maria glad when the women had finished their tea and the cook and the dummy had begun to clear away the tea things? I think it was also implied that Maria wasn't an attractive-looking woman. Maria was a very, very small person indeed, but she had a very long nose and a very long chin. And like these features about her face get mentioned over and over throughout the story. Now there's another quote I want to read. Maria had never seen Joe so nice to her as he was that night, so full of pleasant talk and reminiscences. She said they were all very good to her. When I read this, I thought that this gathering was seen like as some sort of like wholesome escape from the rough lives of these guests. Like this is like a safe space for them, and the world is rough and cold. At the end of the story, Maria sings a tune called I Dreamt That I Dwelt, and Joe cries. Joe was very much moved, and his eyes filled up so much with tears that he could not find what he was looking for, and in the end he had to ask his wife to tell him where the corkscrew was.